Monday night chat's going to be moved to middle of the day since I'll be working towards the night on every day. So we're just moving it today. I was wondering that formal time has been keeping up with Monday nights. We're moving it to Monday in the middle of the day until further notice. I'll let you guys know when we're moving back to nights. So today we're going to be working on more of the steel, cleaning up the edges around there. I kind of want to show you guys that. And I'll be wearing this once my friend actually hits the field. I'll be making another pair of these, or another pair of these for everyone that wants to join the I guess it would be not an order, but a nightly alliance between families. That's what this one represents. So I gotta make another one for the Order of St. Michael. This is just the Baka, Aaron, whatever clan. I forget what you call it. Our two clans united make this. We took our family crests. Mine's a cow, and his is a stag, and there's somewhere in there a chicken as well. So that's kind of that right there. I'll kind of give thanks to the Lord every day. I'm able to live stream and kind of just read a little bit from the Bible here before I start my holy mission and holy work. Where I last left off is Ezekiel. Now it came to pass to the 13th year, 14th month, and the 5th day of the month, I was among the captives of the river of Shibar. That the heavens were open, and I saw the visions of God. The 5th day of the month, which was 5th year of King Jochin captivity, the word of the Lord came expressly unto Ezekiel to the priest, the son of Buzi, in the land of Chaldeans by the river Shibar, and the hand of the Lord was there upon him. And behold, a whirling wind came out of the north, a great cloud. It paints a very beautiful picture, doesn't it? Let me make sure I have all chats to see anyone's chats. Kind of just paints a beautiful picture. Look at the prophet Ezekiel. I'll read another verse and then continue on my holy mission. Finishing the placard, getting the metal ready and prepared for making holy. Actual putting holes in the metal. So, and I looked up, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it. And out of the midst thereof, the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire, also the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and as in their appearance they had the likeness of a man. Very interesting. I want to read more into that. That's Ezekiel 1 through 5. I'm doing fantastic this Christmas. Working on some armor. I'm going to be bending and kind of like getting all these burrs out of the metal because we got our placard made. So I'll kind of show you guys what the placard's at, the placard project. We got all the metal cut on the last live stream. Alright, so that's going to be the orange here. And with these pieces of metal, that's going to cover up this blue that you see here and down below to where about where it meets up with my legs. So right now we're kind of just roughly shaping, and we'll have to take it out and get it hammered up. So, because there's a lot of edges that need to be cleaned up as well. So, but it's nicely shaped, 18 gauge steel. It just needs to be deburred, and then I need to plot where I need to put the holes to make this armor holy. Pun intended. And if this is too loud, the filing, I'll stop doing that. So, I want to thank y'all that's watched this live stream so far. You guys been keeping it on Monday nights. I do it every Monday, usually at night, but we had to since change it because of personal reasons. So it's probably be middle of the day Mondays. So. That is loud. So we'll just do shaping. We'll do general shaping. So steel actually moves a lot like clay if you ever mess with clay. So one of the things I'm going to do is hand move this around and get the general shape I want to get. And I'll do the filing off camera because that is going to hurt your guys' delicate ears. So you can kind of see some of the shapes there is not uniform. So we're going to kind of just bend and make it more pretty. And you'll see a lot of other blacksmiths, they'll be doing this. They'll move the steel around as needed, either with a hammer or by hand, because sometimes by hand it's a little easier to stretch it out, do what you need to do. The placard doesn't need too much shaping. I need to make a lip. So a lip's going to be right about here, about an inch in. That's going to be pushed outwards to kind of, so it goes up and over my belly. It kind of gives a better shape too overall, because I don't want it to be flat looking. So I'm going to come in here and also round off edges and just we got to roll these edges. So all these edges need to be rolled. And that rolling process, if you guys want to see that, I can definitely do that today. I have to set up the anvil and all the other things to get that ready to go for y'all. So that's 2 plates down. I got that generally shaped where I want it. And we'll just keep working that material back and forth. And, get it processed, push to the left, and then do it again, push to the right. Keep doing that until we get generally got it the shape that we want. See that? Mostly the shape you want. So if there's any twists or any of that nature in there, we gotta get that kinks out. So you kind of work the metal like you would clay, right? You can see that's kind of twisted there, so we're going to try to untwist that. Look at that, much more better body brace, or placard. So. And one of the things I'll be working on this week as well is getting the rest of the tent series fleshed out. We got the stakes. We need to get the rope, the wood, and the canvas material, and then that tent series, we'll be pushing that to you guys within the next week or 2. Working on the stakes, gotta mold and form them to the desired shape, which is a bent, looks like kind of like that, like a hook. This kind of shape you want for tents. Same process. Obviously be mindful of the steel, because the steel will not be mindful of you. Okay, see, got there. And then you just kind of pull it out. You got a nice little crescent shape. And let's keep working this material until we get, the desired shapes. Put that with the rest of the folds. And like, look at that. That got, when I cut it out, got that old weird shape out there. So that's what I'm talking about, coming in here and shaping them by hand and getting a nice crescent shape rather than these flat segments you get here. So we'll come in here, we'll start on the flat part, and we'll just come about every 2 inches and just kind of bend it. Okay. And use kind of, steel's very malleable. That's what's awesome about it. Now if you want to make hardened steel, that's a little bit different. So you need high carbon steel, and then you need to heat this up and then quench it, and then from quenching you got to then temper it, else it'll be very brittle. We're not making tempered armor. This armor is all mild steel, And what that allows is, even though it's easy to make, it's also easy to repair and damage. So you got to think about what materials you're using and why. So I want something that's easy to maintain for life. And easily repairable and replaceable. Like my mild steel, if I were to break something or something were to get bent so beyond repair, for whatever reason, I can go and cut out some more steel and replace it pretty easily. Whereas hardened steel has a bit more of a setup, but it will last you a lot longer, usually over time. Again, that stuff is prone to cracking, so. Just kind of go down the line, look at these pieces, do the same thing, make sure it's all nice, about every 2 inches. We're going to be bending. And we're going to fit this together with some duct tape, just kind of get a general feel of what it's going to look like. So I'm going to do that here next. It shouldn't hurt the armor or the paint job too much. You always want to be test fitting, shaping, test fitting, shaping. You only got one chance at cutting steel and putting holes and stuff. You got one chance at it because every time you drill or do what you need to do to get it strapped, it weakens the overall material. You can't, harder to add than it is to remove. To add, you have to weld. You have to weld a little hole or what have you. So. See? Nice little shape there. How much you want? It's a little bit crescent moon. I just gotta thank the Lord every day that I can do this type of things. Like 4 years ago, I'm sure you guys all know, or if you don't, haven't heard, I was on my deathbed, had cell-B lymphoma cancer, so, and I could hardly move, hardly do anything. So it's a blessing just to be here and to mess with metal and not being in bed, lying, waiting to die. So I want to live, and so far I live, right? You gotta live for something. Coming here, back and forth, mindful of the edge. When you move, you want to let go of the metal, move. You just keep going, working it back and forth. Like very sharp play, I should say. You got that. Okay. Now at least normalize the shapes a little more. So when we go in to hammer these, we can get those little itty bitty discrepancies out, but at least they're more shaped generally where they need to be. So we're going to do a test fit. I got some duct tape here, so we're going to just tape this placard, the front folds first together. Set this down. This would be what I'm doing here. Be very similar when you're strapping it with leather. It'd be a similar process, except you'll be riveting it in. So you want to layer these plates and overlap over the front, because that'll allow it to move forward, which is what you want. Kind of like if you ever look at a caterpillar or a beetle, kind of a similar process there. So we're just going to do first strap there. Come with the next plate, pick up the previous plate, slide that in. And you want to line up these edges as much as possible. And in the future, now we can actually go and see where there is too much steel on certain edges, and we can remove as needed if we want to. So as you can see, that's kind of the process. With the leather, you'd have a leather strip right here and holes in the center of these folds and lanes. And you do the same thing up here and up here. You do it in 3 places. So do the last one. Okay. All the straps for the inside the folds are out of the way. Hey, now that we got that, we're gonna come over here and do this side too. I'll try doing one strip this time. Generally, your leather straps will look something like about that length. Do it at the furthest point that the underlying laps move. You go through one by one. And this is duct tape, so we're going to be a little bit liberal on it so it sticks together when we're going to move it. Over here. This lane should go more this way, but for now we're just going to test fit it, not worry about it too much. All right. So that's generally how it's going to look. All right. So it's going to look pretty decent. It's not interfering from my leg movement, as you can see there. See how the folds kind of move? So that's how it's kind of mainly operating. That's going to lap around all the way around. That's going to look pretty decent. There's a couple of ways we can also attach this. I was thinking either I can do a strap from here to here, right? The chest plate to here, or some armor they have like a nail head type of looking pin, and this would lock into place. So I haven't decided which one I'm going to do. I'm probably just going to stick with leather since I know how to work with that. So as you can see, it needs more shaping generally. I'll probably rest right about there. And that's going to protect a lot of the exposed areas I got. So that's what we don't want. Look at that, how beautiful it is, right? So you can still move. I feel pregnant. Alright, so what we'll do to get the full look is we'll do the back, and then we'll, I guess, tape it up and do a test fit of the entire apparatus. So, a similar process. Tape that first one down. All right. And there's been no practice this Sunday. A lot of people are getting prepared for the holidays, so Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. So you'll probably see more combat footage either in January or February, usually is when they restart back up. So a lot of the footage you'll be seeing is me prepping for the wars coming up ahead, the 10th series, this. Ugh. All right, do the other side. Alrighty. So we got that taped together. So usually how this goes is we take the two pieces here, the two halves, and those are going to be intertwined, similar to that. It's a bit rough, but you will get the general idea. And they're going to be strapped together on the sides. And these straps are usually on the outside, so you can take it off as needed in case of emergency, what have you. So. Because sometimes you need to be able to take the silly thing off. So. All right. Now they come back in here and reshape it. So generally, you put this on the ground and then you put it up like a skirt. From what I can tell, how most other knights put these things on. So you get a general look how that looks. So, definitely gonna take some practice to get used to this. Ooh. Yeah, still a work in progress though. It is sick, but I can say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I have handcrafted every single bit of suit of armor on my body. So it's usually a strap like this. I'll probably duct tape it a little better. And then they have a strap in the back. So forgive me, it's duct tape, so do the best we can to get this test fit going. I feel like an orc. Ugh. Yes, the plates themselves, you watched the last live stream, the front and back took about 2 hours just cutting, right? So I still got the shaping to do. So, and this suit's not going to be perfect. I'm still I'm not even a journeyman, I'm an apprentice blacksmith here, so still learning a lot. I'm learning without the aid of a master. I'm doing it on my own through YouTube and just looking up things and by trial and error. So, and these are, what is it? These are 14th century templates, or early 15th century template armor. So this is kind of similar armor patterns they'd use. So check that out. So that's going to protect my lower half. Because if you watch my other combat videos, that's kind of like where I get hit the most is down below here because I have nothing below me. And that's generally how this goes on. And it's a strap like here, permanent strap, and it would strap into this. So now I'm a little more protected. A lot more weight's been added to the overall armor. The full suit with the helmet included is about 55 pounds. And that's before adding this thing. But yeah, the overall suit took me about, I want to say, a month to craft. Actual hours is probably close to 120 plus, just for the arms. So I'll tape the back up, because the strap would be there. So, no. Come on, ye. Might have to do double taping. Everything's just falling apart. If you like the channel, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. We have some more medieval content and This is faith-based medieval stuff. And I need better paper. Let's put that over here. So generally what the suit looks like. I don't have the arms or legs, but I have the helm and the gauntlets. And a lot of working with armor is getting everything working properly, so getting it to run together. So I can tell this is going to be a very interesting challenge. And also on the last live stream, I crafted one of these. So I actually had a sword, but I didn't add the crossguard to it. We used heavy rattan weapons to beat each other up. They're basically all blunt weapons. You can see that's a solid core wooden weapon. So, stupid tape! I'm falling apart. I'm tape man. But generally that's how it's going to look. So when the permanent strap comes in, it's going to look a hell of a lot better. A heck of a lot better. Let me take this off before it falls off. That's the whole point of test fitting, kind of see where everything works and where it doesn't work. Whew. So far, I'm very happy with the placard. So, doesn't interrupt my leg movement, and it goes with the gambeson skirt I have as well. So, it's telling me it wants to come off. So we'll take this off. So, on the next video series, I'm going to be doing the actual drilling of the holes and getting this to shape. That's the last final step for this to actually be a running piece for the suit of armor. And this is a late 14th century Crusader, not a Templar. It'd be, I think, the Holy Order of Christ. They're the ones that they existed after the Templars were basically disbanded and killed. So, and another thing I gotta do is repair this gambeson, because a lot of the strapping material right here, the arming points, they're starting to get damaged because of the steel and the movement that moves. I gotta do that repair and add this to the other armpit here. So, and this is a coat of arms for me and my friend. Whenever he takes to the field, I'll be adding that to my suit as well. But for the time being, I'll probably make another one. The Knights Templar, the Order of Saint Michael. That's what our group is, or my group is. So I'll be adding that to the suit. So you guys get a better look at the arms and armor that's associated with this. I gotta do some more training videos as well. So on the next, either Wednesday or Thursday, I'll be doing another training video, weather permitting. So, because I gotta get the pail up and running. I actually broke it like a month ago, and haven't assembled it since. A medieval death trooper, yeah. I like to be more akin to, like, you know, if you ever played Space Marine or Space Marine 2, more akin to that kind of faith-based warrior mindset, right? You fight for something. That's kind of what I'm doing. And I'm on a mission to lose weight and gain subscribers. That's what I want to do. Increase one thing, decrease the other. So I already beat the one dragon of cancer, beat that dragon. I got to beat the other dragon that my mom never defeated in her lifetime, which was weight. So my weight at its highest was 390, down to 283. Still got to keep pushing and get that lower. 200s I found out is extraordinarily difficult for me because I've been eating like trash for the better part of 2 decades. So one of the books I got, in fact I'll share it with you guys. we actually ate some. It's a frittata we ate today, which is spinach, tomatoes. It's a keto diet. Let me go get the book for that. So on the ketogenic diet, you're trying to hit like 1,200 calories. So I got this book, just kind of helped me with, because I was doing general keto and doing some calorie counting, but I need to get better, more discipline on it. So this goes over, I recommend this book, by the way, Easy Keto Meal Prep. It goes over kind of what the materials you need, how to prep this stuff. And we did something similar to this, the frittata, though I added way more spinach than necessary. So it was actually more of a spinach with a hint of egg in it. So I just got to get better at doing exactly what it says in the book. I think this is not, well, yeah, we made a frittata-like thing, which is eggs. We didn't add bacon, so I just got to stick to this book and stick to the calorie limitations. It was about 1,200 to 1,300 per day. What you're targeting, so expected weight loss depending on your size and activity. I was losing about 10 pounds a month, something like that, when I first started out, and now it's kind of tapered off because I'm both gaining muscle mass and losing weight, so it's hard to tell my progress some days because of that, because I'm doing strength training, cardio. Cardio is very interesting. I did not know there was such thing as people call it neo-feudalism or something like that. I was like, very interesting, because people talk about DoorDash in that way. I was like, okay, I guess I'm that. I drive around all day levying taxes to pay for everything, daily expenses. It's kind of nice. It's freeing to not have a boss anymore. Because I was in the software engineering industry for a better part of a decade, 12 years of my life. And now with AI coming to the field, I gotta find something else, some other means. I'm sure there's a lot of developers out there that lost jobs here recently, Meta, you name it, right? Lost jobs, and so I'm competing against those types of people. So people with 20 plus years experience don't have a chance. I surely don't have a chance with only 12 in the industry. But I can still use those skill sets with what I'm doing here, and you'll see that in my videos, right? So I'll be kind of experimenting with some certain videos, videos that do work, I'll keep hitting those. And it's kind of like you're engineering the best way to bring in like-minded people to your channel, which is people that are into Christianity and medieval themed stuff. And I tried branching out and doing gaming just because I was like, maybe I could make that. Nope. I learned my lesson on that one. I tried for 12 years not to include that. So a lot of people want to see more authentic stuff. So this is more authentic me. The medieval things. So. And thank y'all who's watched this far. It's going to be about a 2-hour live stream, give or take. So we're working towards 1,000 subscribers. We're up to 900, and I believe it was 18 last I checked. So we're only about 82 from goal. So go ahead and smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. You haven't subscribed already, share. We're so close. Not even funny. And it's just the goal I set out. YouTube has it. You need 1,000 plus subscribers plus some watch hours to make money. We're nowhere near the watch hours. I still want to hit that goal to show kind of what we're made of, right? That the people are into this type of content, and just keep driving forward. So no matter what, have forward momentum. Because life's too short to over-analyzing everything, right? You should just go and execute, and then refine as you go. Because the way I view kind of like life, it's like being a blacksmith. You know, sit there and analyze and draw out and meticulous detail, and then 5 years later, then start smacking steel. And you can, if that's the way you want to go, but by the time, if we had a race between two blacksmiths, by the time the other blacksmith was done, which is my style, which is hammer and go along, by the time you met that 5-year mark, one would be a master, one would still be just starting out. So, and one would already produced 1,000 works over by the time he got this first. So there's something to be said about just getting something out there. A good example of that, I don't like bringing modern stuff into this, Elon Musk with his rocketry, right? He kind of has that kind of mindset in a lot of the things he does. He kind of gets something out there and then refines on the next one. And you refine and you refine and you refine. You learn from your mistakes and you refine for the next one. So that's kind of like with the armor series, right? When I first started out, I didn't know how to cut steel at all, and I made a lot of mistakes. I still make a ton of mistakes, and this is my first suit. So I think by suit number 3, 4, or 5, it'll be a lot more pristine and better, because I'm going to be, you learn as you go. So I'm actually be making more suits for my friends as well. One of my friends, he wants a brigandine, so that's going to actually push my skills to its absolute most limit. So we already have the chest plate for this, for his suit. Yes, I try to be authentic as possible with that. There are masters in what we do, but everyone's not available, and yeah. But presented the opportunity, I'll take it. So, and we're in the SCA, so the SCA, you'll see a lot of people out there with kits that are not historically accurate, but adhere to the sport, right? Like this stuff right here, this rubber hosing, this is used as a liner to the shield. Now I'll get my shield together to show you what we're talking about. So this shield here, in the SCA, this is SCA legal combat shield. I made this myself from scratch using 3/4 ply, 2 sheets of it, glued, and then getting that nice bend, that curvature. It's easier than you think it is. You just have to have a form and some tie-down straps, and you can get that made. So some of the things in there that are not medieval, they generally wouldn't have a cage like this. They wouldn't have rubber hosing. It'd be lined with rawhide usually. This is more of a modern-esque shape, but it's reminiscent of a kite shield. You guys can see that? So that's that right there. And now I think that looks a little bit more complete, right guys? So if you're ever getting into medieval combat sports, sword and board is the way to go, because then you don't have to think about lines of attack too much. Lines of attack and defense. Because here's your defense. That's going to protect you. Now all you have to think about is where to place your weapon, right? Because when you go into like pole arms or this is a sword and a half, right? Goodness. If you can see that, there's quadrants, right? So the upper right quadrant, lower left quadrant. Upper left quadrant, lower right quadrant. And that's kind of when people talk about lines of engagement, that's what they're talking about. And you can only defend so much, right? So this is going to protect from any incoming shot this way, and this can protect from any incoming shot this way. And if you watch where that blade is, how it goes above my head, that's like a plane. That's going to prevent anything coming this way. Now, thrusting is a different angle of attack, right? So there's a lot to think about when you're in combat, and the thing you can't do is overanalyze. That's my problem. I'm in my head too much and not playing the tempo dance game. Open with the move, see how they react, and then counterattack. So a lot of fun. So unless you're wanting to start with great difficulty, go with sword and board. Also, you got to be thinking about your lines of defense and attack, and where you're setting up, and how you're reposing and all that. So, and you're trying to have this blade protecting your body. So in other ways, have your tip out like this. So you kind of still engages that line across the body, so you're defended there. That defends from that quadrant. That defends from that quadrant. So, and that holds true even with pole arms. See, kind of see the same thing. So the mindset you can use long swords, you can use this as well, except you have a lot more. See? You gotta be mindful where the thing goes. Forget how much room I don't have up here. So, right? Across your body is going to defend you. And you're setting up to where you're trying to mitigate your opponent's lines of attack as much as possible. Because what you don't want to do is set up your weapon to where it opens up a shot for them to take. I've done that countless times where their weapon's angled a certain way and I mirror their weapon, which if you mirror their weapon angled, right, say their weapon's like to the left, or their left, your right, and you aim yours to, your right, your left, and you're in the same plane, they can come up and hit you right in that slot, and you can't defend from that. You'll see that in some of my big combat videos as well, when we're talking about that and doing all that stuff. So. And if you guys are worried about cost entering a sport like this, it's no more expensive than doing hockey or any of those other sports. Depending on what you're trying to do. If you're doing what I'm doing with the full plate metal, you can still make it cheap. Like the most expensive part was the gauntlets and the helm. Gauntlets were $300. I purchased from somebody else. The helmet was also $300, so that's $600 between those two things. The chest plate and all the other stuff. If I really wanted to spend the kind of money to get nice looking stuff, you easily spend $2-3 grand. I did it for less than $50, if that. But how many of you guys play Warhammer 40K or video games? How much do you spend on that stuff? So it's no different than any other hobby, I imagine. So unlike those things, you can have it one and done. So some other weapons I'm going to be adding to the arsenal is a service poleaxe. Because these poleaxes I have here, if you can see them, let's see if you can see them. Those poleaxes I have there, those are training poleaxes. They're actually thicker and heavier than most weapons. And they have one purpose and one purpose alone. Cause as much pain for the end user, myself, and the opponent. So it's a Romanesque style of training is what they do. They train with double the weight of the weapon, and then when they go in the field or service type of weapons, they actually use the lighter weapons. And I've used lighter weapons, and my speed is greatly improved with that. Everyone noticed it because I didn't say anything. I didn't say, "Oh, I'm so fast." I just let them do the talking. So that's kind of how you kind of gauge. If you want to actually get a true gauge of where you're at, get them to talk, not you. What I've noticed is some people try to not hurt your feelings or offend or to give actual feedback or go full bore on you. Like that's how I learn is when people go all out, full bore. I don't learn from easing me into a butt whooping. I want to be butt whooped, and I want to know what happened and why. Then I can make adjustments as needed. So I learn by indoctrination by fire or trial by fire. So that's not for everyone. Everyone wants to be eased in probably. I don't know. I like to do it the hard way, because my guy kind of did it the hard way, get a point across. So I imagine that's for me the best way to learn. So how do you ease yourself into suffering, right? I like that. What's the word? Rip the Band-Aid off. So in the SCA as well, they have these things. This cordage prevents the weapon from slinging out and hitting a bystander. So you'll see a lot of the SCA people have these ropes here. If you're ever wondering what that is, that's what it's for. So for single-handed weapons, this is a sword and a half, but I still use it single-handedly, so hence you're gonna need that because these can fly out of your hands and hit spectators, and that's what you don't want. If you guys ever watch any combat videos, what we're trying to do is get a solid hit either on the head or torso, disabling your opponent or killing them effectively. If you're seeing HEMA would be one example where they do this. Also, what's that other sport called? Fencing. They do the same thing, either in the torso or head, getting a single hit in. And that's what you're going for. Except this was more a kinetic sport, so you're trying to transfer as much energy into your opponent to let them know they've been hit and killed. It's an honor system, so if someone rhino hides, what they call it, and they have in paintball as well, what that should signal to you is hit them harder, unless a marshal says otherwise. If a marshal steps in and says, you're dead, move on, and then you do that. So, because safety is like the most important thing in the SCA. Because you can get seriously injured or killed out there if you're not careful. So, likelihood of being killed, very minimal. Likelihood of being injured, moderate, like any other sport. And another thing I crafted yesterday, it's basically just cardboard and some leather crafting material I have. Made a scabbard because I kind of wanted to not spend too much time or effort on the scabbard, but I still wanted to make it to complete the set. So, because these are basically weapon singlets, they're not true weapons, obviously, but I still wanted that look. And so the next thing I need to do is probably make something to hold this properly, because right now I'm just using a standardized belt to make the loop, and that's how that's going to rest. It's going to rest somewhere over here. Probably need to get another strap down there. Look how they properly strap scabbards. So you want this is like a sidearm. So one of the things I want to do is practice with using the pole arm and this together. I don't know the word. Yeah, together. So I have a better idea. Because when you're in the field, you can and will drop pole arms. So having a backup service weapon is not a bad idea. One of the things I do eventually want to add is a dagger or a knife, because I've been in positions where I've locked a guy down, but I can't deal a killing blow because if I let him go, he's going to hit me. So I have to think about how can I kill this guy? I usually have to wait for someone else to do it. So it would be nice to have a dagger either up here or up here so I can gain access to it and have to test it with this right here. Kind of test where that would feel good. And probably right about there, honestly. Something like right there. That sticks a little bit. I'll have to oil it up or something. Yeah, it's starting to look snazzy, isn't it, guys? And we're not quite at the point where I can have super chats yet. I'll let you guys know when we can do that, because that would be awesome. I'd love to see your guys' comments. So I'm trying to be as engaging to my audience as much as humanly possible. One can only do so much. One of the other things I'm working on is, I'm sure you guys saw some video, is a gardening project, and that's going to be for next year. So with all these recalls, I'm like, you know what? I'm into medieval stuff. Why not just do something where I'm self-sustaining? So we got a stock tank out there. I'm filling it with organic material and working on a garden. So at some point, I'll have a medieval garden. I'll just grow whatever they have. Potatoes, usually. They wouldn't have tomatoes because that's a American dish, so from the Americas. So I want to look up some things that the Europeans had during that time frame and kind of grow that. So probably most likely potatoes initially, and kind of get used to growing things like that. Onions would be another one I could put out there. So I'll probably do some onions. So it'll be a lot of fun. And then we can do a whole series on some medieval cooking. If you guys are into cooking, medieval style cooking. But yeah, let's see how, I'm kind of curious. I'll loosely put this on and see how this looks. Yeah, that doesn't look too half bad. So if you're one of these, I forgot the name. It's like starts with a B. The jewels or best the shield. It's a French word, but what it does is it protects your armpits, and it also holds Heraldry identifying marks like badges. So primarily that's what they're for, but they do protect the armpit area. You can kind of see that. So they go in there and they just protect the armpit as best as possible, right? You'll have some chainmail in there, most likely. I'll be working on a chainmail series as well. Learning how to make chainmail. That's going to be a lot of fun. I think that's going to be a ton of fun, making the rings and all various other things. Yeah. A lot of fun, a lot of creative ideas, juices, and ideas flowing. So on the armor itself, we kind of have, now that we laid out some of the duct tape as a strap placeholder, you get a general idea of where you can place. I'm going to be marking this with the marker. Where generally you want holes. So probably right there. And we'll come in like this. That's going to be just a straight line down. We want a hole there. We want a hole there. We want a hole there. Take the tail on this side off. And here, we're going to have to either move it around or do something with it. We'll probably keep these two plates the way they're at. So we'll do a hole here and a hole there. And this, we'll do an arrow saying this needs to come down this way. So I bet you anything, yep, that little inch we have on that's not on the other side is on this side. So this needs to be shifted over. We'll mark it here, about 1 inch. So what we can do is we'll mark this an inch over, or roughly an inch over. You're using your eyeballs because we're eyeballing everything. So there, and there. And then we'll just do the hole there. The hole's gonna go there and there. So now we got the holes. Oh, we need a hole here as well. And that gives us generally where the holes are going to be. You guys can see that. That'll give us a general idea where the holes are going to be. And then we got to take either a nail or a punch and make indentions in the steel. So I'll do that on probably the next video. I'll be moving my anvil and other equipment outside and probably distance the camera far enough away where it's not blasting your guys' ears doing metal work. So I'm trying to be sensitive to your guys' ears. You may have headphones on, what have you. So, and this is going to be the front. So we're going to label that front. These plates will be labeled F as well. You kind of want to just label as you go. So now you have an idea of, this is the front plate with the front folds on it. They'll have F designation on them. Okay, we'll take this strap off. I'll do the similar process. So we want a hole up here near the apex. And that's going to be the strap that goes into the top. We want to do a straight line down. Hole there, 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 and there. You got a straight line. You can eyeball it and rough it. And this is going to be labeled back plate. Come over here. Do a hole there, 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 and there. This seems mostly lined up. We'll adjust as needed. We'll do a hole there, 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 and there. So there you go. Rough shapes of the placards, and those will be good to go on the next video when I shape and then pound or drill out. I'm gonna be drilling by hand. I don't have any drilling material, or I don't have any medieval drills. I'm gonna have to look up how they drilled holes. But we're in the SCA, so we'll adjust and move on. So sometimes modern conveniences are a godsend, so use them. Oh. If you guys want to see what that pattern on that weapon or that scabbard looks like, it's kind of the pattern that it is. It's kind of like a floral pattern. So it's kind of a nice look. Here, get that light off. There you go. Nice floral pattern. I have a lot of this material, or a pretty good size amount of this material. I'm going to use for various other projects. And I'm thinking of what to do with this placard. If I should line it on the outside with this stuff or not. I think I'm going to keep it simple and have everything seems to be the theme with white and blue. So the blue is the rivers of Glen Reed. So if you ever look at the symbol here, this is actually our the Tribe of Glen Reed's coat of arms. So you can see there's a blue border type of thing that represents the Tennessee River. So I kind of made my armor in honor of that. So honor your chapter, right? As they say in Space Marines, right? So a lot of the stuff is honoring my chapter. And this is like me and my friend's little chapter as well. So you guys can see that it is a cow, stag, bird thing. I guess his wife's family, his family. It's pretty interesting. So it's gonna be a lot of fun getting this ready to go as well, because I still need it. This one has the edging, this edging here, so I gotta be adding that here as well, so it just looks a little more finished. So generally what I did in the first one, I kind of just wrapped it around and then you just glue it basically. So you get a nice look, or nice finish, nice look to it, rather than just raw edge or rolled edge, because I'm still working on rolling steel. So you can see that, that's like rolling steel. So coming around corners is difficult for me. I can do straights, no problem. See that? Straights are no problem. Just coming around corners, always difficult. So. And all this stuff is made of 18 gauge steel. This is mild steel as well, so ain't going nowhere. It's pretty rich in materials. Similar to what they use, this is all riveted mail, not butted mail. So whenever you buy chainmail, always get riveted mail. Because the last thing you want to do is rivets flying off, or not rivets, links falling off when you get hit. Because butted mail is just the strength of the metal holding it together, whereas riveted mail actually has a metal rivet through the steel or whatever material it's made of, and clamped together. And that takes a lot of processing to do. So always worth the money, because this will hold up for years to come. Whereas if this was budded mail, it'd already be falling apart. I've seen other SCA people out there with budded mail skirts and everything, and halberts, which is it's basically like a t-shirt, and they're just falling apart. So if I'm gonna spend that kind of money, I want budded mail, or not budded. I want riveted mail, not budded mail. And the gauntlets are made of 18 gauge steel. So as you can see here, there's some damage done by a greatsword. So I'm gonna get my. This ain't a greatsword. This is half the length of a greatsword. A greatsword is about 6 foot long, like my pole arms over there. So that greatsword, when it came in, I basically blocked with my wrist there. If you guys can see that. And this protected my wrist from getting shattered. So they hit with great force in the SCA. I have another dent over here on this side, on the inner side, right there. And that was done by another pole arm. I think it's a glaive is what he uses. But yeah, this should kind of tell you kind of the damage that these weapons can inflict. So if that was on my actual wrist, there'd be no wrist. So. Looking pretty good, ain't it? And once we hit the 1,000 subscribers, our next goal is going to be 10,000. So I hope you guys are looking forward to having 10,000. But that'll be the goal for the end of next year. So may or may not reach it, but I'm pretty sure we're going to reach it at this pace. So every day we're adding a new subscriber. Every day we're adding more holy warriors to the army. And I appreciate your guys' viewership and just kind of getting to know y'all. You guys are all a quiet bunch, very observant bunch, I've noticed. You guys wait, listen, speak. So I kind of appreciate that. It means you guys are all deep thinkers. That's kind of what you want to surround yourself with is like-minded individuals. You know, thinking about the world around you and contemplating why you do the things that you do. So one of the reasons I do the SCA is because it gives me focus on the goal at hand, which is the goal is to lose weight. Lose weight and get closer to Christ. And that's kind of where I kind of found Christ, right? The SCA, strangely enough, or drawing closer to him. I found him in the hospital, dying in bed, right? Thank you all for joining us this so far. So it's gonna be a quiet next couple or next month or so. So if there's more practices to come, I'll let you guys know. There'll be some videos that are dropped with that. I'll try to get a friend to come out and we can do some sparring content, do a live. If you guys want to see an actual spar live stream, go ahead and let me know in the comments or in the community page. I always love to hear you guys' thoughts on things. And thank you all who's watched this far. I really do I really truly appreciate it. So I'm still learning as a content creator, still learning for how to make things kind of pretty. So I hope the setup's a little nicer, appealing. Still can use some work until I get a proper studio because I'm doing this in my kitchen. So. Oh, another thing I can show you guys. If you guys are new to the channel. I don't know if you've seen my helmet. So this helmet we modified because I got tired of doing this all the time. I still need to modify it some more. So you can see that pops up and that goes down. So every SCA person you see, they'll have a chin strap similar to this. And what that prevents is the actual helmet from touching your face. What you don't want is any of the metal to touch your face. See how that worked? Let me get my glasses so I can see, because it's extremely hard to see without it. I guess I can do that and then see this way. Oh man. So when you ever see me fight out there, guys, I literally can't see. Like, here's how far I can see. Still can't see. Right about there is where I can see. So a lot of how I fight is trusting the Lord has my back when I make a move. I'm gonna go, okay, I'm gonna go for this move, and I'm praying that I hit on target. And a lot of time I do, a lot of time I don't. I mainly play a defensive game of tempo. I let them do their thing first, and then I respond to it, because I can see generally the outline of the person, and I try to pay attention to where their weapon arm is going. So, because I can kind of generally see that, but not too well. Mainly what I'm looking for is an opening in their defense, and then I'm going for that. So what they mean by that is there's an opening slot, is what they call it. Take this off temporarily. So in the SCA, there's things called slots, right? So you're trying to go for those openings that you see in an opponent's defense. So right here, in between the shield and the weapon, that's a slot, because they can only defend so much. So you're trying to go for that. Another slot is the back of the head. So because if you wrap around a weapon, you can get their head, right? That's one way to do it. Some people will defend like this. Slot would be kind of top of the head and the eyes. So there's not much targets to hit. So when you're out there in the SCA, you're trying to open up their defenses by getting them to react. So it's a lot of the game of chess, movement chess, and body dynamics, and getting angles on the guy. So you're going to be moving left, right, you're going to be backing up, depending on what your opponent's doing. Your opponent may have a great sword, they may have a pole arm like mine over there. Just depends on who you're fighting. You always have to change your tactics and your stances based on what your opponent's doing. One weapon that I'm extremely weak against is sword and board one-on-ones. In a big group, I can handle them because I have other shield men protecting me. Another weapon that I'm weak against is spearmen at a distance. If I can close the distance, I got them. So, but spearmen at a distance, they got me in they call it C range. So, and with the strap shield, your shield mainly going to be over here on your side like this. You'll be moving it slightly with shoulders where you need it, right? Just kind of moving it up and down. It's not going to be too much movement. You'll see in my videos, since I'm wearing heavy armor and I'm going for reach, right? I'll be coming out here like this. And yes, I'm opening myself up on my right hand side, but I'm blocking from my left, because the majority of the attacks, they're going to thrust out here with their right hand against you. So you're always protecting your lines of attack, right? So see? That's what I'm actually doing. So most people try to attack and have the shield in front of them. But what that also does, doing this, right, allows you to sweep back, right, come out, attack. It's one way, right? So across, try to poke their head, threaten their head a bit, right? My shield, since I have this little groove on each side, I can actually rest my sword on here like this, coming from thrusts. I haven't got anyone with it yet, but it does threaten them a little bit, so they are wary of the thrusts. And since my sword is longer than most, because the rule of thumb with the weapons like this is this should fall to my side. Mine does not. It's out here, so it's longer than most. So I actually got someone in the throat last practice because I was able to come up and over their shield and into their throat because they weren't expecting a thrust from me. So you would come up, you would impact their shield, come up and down. That's how I ended up getting him. So I saw the opportunity because I was in this position here. So the only logical conclusion I can draw is thrust into him. Got him right in the throat. Feels pretty good when you get those hits in. Because that guy I was fighting is a knight, super fast. So, another thing you can do when you're on the field, you have hips you can move. I actually countered one of his attacks. He went around to my right-hand side, and I can't move my arm fast enough to block it. So, you just do this. You twist your body into the attack, and you can defend yourself. See it from here. So see how he's going for this opening on my right hand side. Twist, and now you're defended. I just twist by the hips, and you just readjust your feet. So, but he still won that engagement. He's just way quicker, right? Because they're in lighter armor than myself. So I'm going full plate mail, full kit. What do they call it? And what do they call it? What's the word for it? Harness. Full harness. So you're trying to defend your head as much as possible. So if you see my shield, if you let it drop right here, that head's open. So you want your shield to be right about there when you're fighting your opponents, right? So you can play the distance game too. You can kind of have it going out as well and get more area of protection, right? So you'll see bucklers that way. It's like you always wonder how that little buckler can defend. It's because they're pushing that line out. See how my hand gets kind of bigger? See how it's kind of small here? And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger? That's what a buckler is. If you're ever curious about why you see people with bucklers holding it way out there, it's because they're defending, right? They're enlarging the weapon without making it larger. So I'm obviously going to be playing more like this, closer to the body, because this wears you out holding it way out there, but you can still do it. The bad thing is when you do that, I'm now blind. I can't see what you guys are doing. So most likely this is probably the most I'll do. Right about here. And you'd be leaning back a bit, keeping your torso away from the opponent, thrusting out. And you're going to be moving side to side a lot. See how we don't do just purely thrust? Top of my head's open. But sometimes you use that as a bait, right? So you're trying to bait him into an attack, right? Because then you can back up and thrust into him. So I'm not used to the guard. I had a stick before prior, so I gotta get used. I gotta figure out the best way to do that. So you step back, thrust into him, or the other one, or just do that. Wherever you want to do, wherever the tempo is. I think about 20 minutes of live stream. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Like, comment, subscribe as we grow the Holy Army to 1,000 subscribers. Next week's going to be probably around the same time. For you guys who are getting adjusted to the 6:45 Central Time for Monday Night Chats, it's going to be moved to around this time. Just due to personal reasons. So we had to change hours of working at night. So I'll be working at night, making more money to make more content for you guys. And working on cardio as well. That's super important in this stuff. So when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing a march. I haven't figured out where, but it has to be longer than the last march I did, which was roughly about 5 miles in armor, half kit, or half harness. I'm going to be doing full harness now on the 1,000 subscribers and marching at least a mile more than that one, which is, I have to time it right because the sun sets at a certain period. You know me out in the dark, so I got to plan this properly for you guys and get it good video, marching video. So that's all I want. I thought of a few places. There's a few places that come up to mind. So the end goal is to be able to run in full armor, full kit. I want to be worthy of the armor that I build. I still don't feel worthy of it, right? So I'm still not running as much as I should. So every day you push yourself just a little bit more. And over time, just like my little stack videos series I have going on, over time, eventually it'll become a mountain, an undeniable mountain of truth. So a little bit at a time. Kind of like when you gain weight, right? It doesn't happen all at once. It's not one meal that makes you fat. It's the 1,000 meals over a course of years that make you fat. So, and you can use that mindset and that what do they call it? I don't know what you would call it, but you can use that to your advantage if you know what's going on, right? So if you think long term and little bit of gains towards it, whatever goal it is, you can achieve any goal you want in life. Any goal is achievable. So you just got to think about where you want to be in the next 5 years and just work towards that goal. And do small manageable goals. I found in life, doing small manageable goals throughout the day produces results. So, like this suit of armor, I didn't do it all at once. Small goals towards your overall arching goal is what you're looking for. Ooh. Got about 30 minutes left in the live stream. We'll be ending it. This is Monday Night Chats. Read a little bit from the Bible, worked on some armor bending. Planning the next phase of the channel, which is probably do a bit more traveling for you guys. Because I don't want the content to ever get stale, right? So if I feel like it's getting stale, let me know. So, but I'll adjust as I see fit, for sure. So one of the challenges I want to do is, when I was younger, I was going to join the Marines at one time, but then I found out the military wasn't for me. I kind of want to do a Hell Week, but nightly themed. So I'm gonna have to look at what they do. I think it'd be very interesting. But that'll probably be for another year. This year, I'm working towards the Spartan race in Nashville. So that's gonna be my primary focus for fitness levels. Just getting that done. So I gotta actually register for that. It's like $100, something like that. I'll have to look into what I can afford. So I don't want to go too crazy with it, but should be a ton of fun. I'll show you my primary weapon, just because I did some work on it, and I'm actually quite happy with the overall look of the new weapons. Poleaxe, hammer, axe side. So you got that, and you got the butt spike. So poleaxe, you're primarily going to be fighting similar to this style right here. So, and your stance will change based on your opponent. Sword and board, primarily going to be having my axe head way up here. Another polearm, similar to that. It's also going to shift sides based on where they have their weapon angled. Because what you don't want to do is leave a slot open for an attack. So, now, what's cool about my polearm is I have these right here, and that catches and deflects weapons as needed. So that's why I kind of like it, because I'm trying to close the distance and then come in, get that axe swing in. So, or the hammerhead. So this is the new head that I fashioned for the SCA. Would be more traditional looking, because before it was kind of ambiguous what the hammer side and axe head side is. Now you can kind of tell hammer, axe side. So that's that weapon. And this right here is the meat tenderizer, the bec de Corbin. So as you can see, hammer side and beak side. So which has a Viking. My guy's a French, what is it? French knight, late 14th century. So you actually see some of my channels, but yeah, I'm going for like heavy weapons training. So if you look at this is about 1.5 inch weapon. This is all strength training. You'll see my videos. I felt very proud of myself. I wouldn't say proud, but I felt very filled with glee and joy when someone else used my weapon and they couldn't carry it for a very long time. It's like, that's the point of this weapon, is to, by the sheer act of just using it, you're gaining strength. So, and this is feeling super light, along with the other one. So now I need to build a service weapon. So I have to do some more videos of me smashing watermelons with this, because that was a ton of fun, smashing watermelons with this. Because this can deal some serious damage. Actually, it can kill you too. Even though it's a rubber head, it's a vulcanized rubber head. Still, I mean, imagine you're hitting yourself in the head with a rubber mallet. About the same, except with a lot more weight behind it. So this is called a bec de Corbin. It's about a 6 foot long polearm, or poleaxe, that's what they call it. So you can hook with it, use the beak to attack. You can switch, hit the butt spike. And this is all for SCA, Society of Creative Anachronism, which is a heavy armor sport similar to Boob Herd. Have you ever seen the videos of those guys whacking each other? But this is more simulating actual medieval combat, because you can thrust where those guys can't. So, and it's more skill based, because you're not using your physicality to push or knock people down like you would Boob Herd or Empire of Medieval Pursuits. Those are more physical sports. This is more physical, skilled sport, akin to fencing, right? You're going in for the killing shot, the killing blow. You're deflecting incoming attacks, and you're positioning yourself to get the perfect strike in. So that's what this sport is. So there's people that are like 70 plus years old playing in this, a lot of fun. Because if it was a true physical, like football match, you would dominate the battlefield against those opponents. I mean, unless they're really skilled in their later years, it'd be unfair playing field. So, which is a good thing. I want skill, right? And we also fight in large formations. So, well, I have some video footage of that. I'll have to get some more. But they fight in like 100-man versus 100-man battles, 1,000-man versus 1,000-man battles. It's a lot of fun. You kind of feel all macho and manly when you're out there. Nerdy, but macho at the same time. And these are rattan weapons. You can see that solid bamboo right there. That's this entire stick. So you're basically hitting each other with baseball bats. We have about 20 minutes left in the live stream. We'll be ending it. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Still getting used to the day format. I'm better at the night format than the day format. And I'll probably be making... Well, my live streams I can make off the cuff, from the heart, genuine videos rather than something scripted. So, but if you guys want something scripted and more elegant, more produced, I can do that in the future as well. Because I've been thinking about doing content similar to that. Viking of Vikings. If you guys like Vikings, they also have Vikings out there as well. There is a couple of Vikings that I've had the displeasure of fighting against because they hurt. Let me get that helmet on. No mercy, no respite. I may do another live stream out in the back too. We'll see. Aha! I hope you guys like the live stream. We'll be doing this every Monday. This is our 15th live stream. We're gonna have a 16th live stream next week. Probably gonna be 12 o'clock as well. We'll have to coordinate with the higher ups, make sure we got that slot open every Monday. As we grow the channel to 1,000 subscribers, we're up to 918 last I checked. If you guys haven't subscribed already, go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. We have more medieval Christian content along the way. Mainly one of the things is I added, my missus is like, she would shove this thing up my thing, posterior. I've been using it. Been having a lot of fun with it. So I just can't wait to get in the field and actually use this in the actual spar. So it should be a ton of fun. You know, I'm actually itching to go. I'm probably going to reset, recalibrate, and spar today for you guys. Or not spar, but practice spar. Before the things you get amped up, all right, the blood flowing, you just want to get out and just hit something. What is that? Yo-yo? Oh. Whew. Just wearing the armor wears you out, for sure. So, I can only imagine 60 pounds of gear. One of the things I'm working on, or have to do. So I made this list for, I guess, the 300 Spartan workout. I actually need to start doing this. I did about half of this. So let's see. I can't do pull-ups yet. I've done deadlifts with 135 pounds. It says 50 of them. I've done about 10, so I need to get 40 more than that. 50 push-ups. I can do about 20 or 10 knee, 10 regular. Well, can't do regular push-ups yet. I have to keep working on that. Like, I'm still working on my calisthenics. I don't have a box. Floor wipers, I have to look what that is. It's been a while. And then clean presses. I've done plenty of those on the channel, you guys have seen. So I need to do, this chart says 50. So I need to be doing that. And this is straight from the 300 workout from the movie. If you guys ever watched the movie 300, this is straight from what their workout is. And they did this, say they do it daily. I imagine daily's going to destroy me at this weight. So the best bet is to get down to goal weight first and then start amping up the ante, right, and getting to here. So, but I already got the clean and press, which is lifting the kettlebell above your head. I'm doing a 25-pound kettlebell. So they're doing, okay, that's where, that's like 50, that's insane. So it's 25 each arm. I can do 10 each arm. So I just need to double it. So I'll probably do that in the next workout video I have in mind. I'll double it and I'll do 25 on each arm. Because, yeah. And then they're using 35-pound kettle. I'm about 11 pounds away from that. I'm at 25, so I'll probably see if I can get a bigger kettlebell, like 50-pound kettlebell or something like that. And then work on doing 10 each arm on that. And then work my way up to 25 with the 50-pound kettlebell. Though strength is not the problem. It is cardio currently I have to work on. Cardio and endurance. I can stay with everyone now in the field. That was quite the achievement this year. I was able to go to the SCA combat field and stay up the entire time. Very minimal downtime. So what downtime is in between sparring, do you sit down and drink water, take rest, and all that stuff. I'm trying to mitigate that to no more than 30 seconds, right? In between each spar, if I'm going to do that or not at all. You should always hydrate because you're going to lose a lot of water, a lot of water weight, and just a lot of water in general with wearing heavy armor and going into combat. Even the most fit guy out there sweats. So you want to make sure you're fully hydrated because the last thing you want to do is go to the hospital because you didn't hydrate enough. So I always say this time and time again, hydrate, 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 especially in heavy armor. I still have my workout from last year, which is, I'll kind of tell you what that workout is. I need to start filming again the workouts, which is warm out, dynamic stretching, workout, pull arm, and workout. That's the entire set. So I got to do 15-second planks, 5 burpees, planks, squats, planks, straddle hops, which is jumping jacks, planks, and pull arm, 20-second each arm, 60 seconds high guard hold. And the high guard hold helps with just overall strength and holding and rubbing up here. It helps with that because you're going to be doing a lot of this stuff as well, and that's kind of working the muscle groups up here. So engaging all these muscles that are holding up your arms. So a lot of that helps with overall general strength training. I think one of everything, diet, exercise. So the diet, if you guys are curious about the diet, what medieval diet would primarily eat be ketogenic diet. So you're going to be eating a lot of meat, a lot of cheeses, with some vegetables thrown in there. And I'm going to be going through the book and medievalizing a lot of these recipes, because some of these stuff they wouldn't have access to. But it's not a pure historic channel, but we're going to stay as close to European style cuisine as possible. Like this right here, this would be perfect right here. And that's a smoked cucumber and salmon. They'd eat something like that. That's one of the things I also want to take up is fishing. So I think it'd be just a great skill to learn in itself, and it'd be helpful in the medieval stuff, medieval content. So, because the knight should be able to fish, garden, should be able to be good with finance. So generally, you're trying to be an all-round knightly person. But I'm a man at arms, so I'm still working on everything. So a lot of my ethos is like Christian-centric, obviously. So I kind of took inspiration from Space Marines, how they use their faith and their combat prowess to achieve objectives. And what that does, having a higher power, you stop thinking about yourself. And you're thinking about like what the mission is or what your overall goals are as a group, rather than your selfish desires. And that's kind of what that ethos is, giving up those worldly things. Also being part of brotherhood, right? So it's kind of nice being part of a brotherhood, right? Being loyal to the end, that's one of the more important things. So donning your chapter colors, that's kind of what I do. Donning my chapter colors. And kind of what I am as a Christian. So donning all that stuff. So, and as I go into combat, I'm always thinking about how can I be a better father, better worker, better whatever, right? So it's more than just going out there and getting beaten up. It's going out there and putting your knowledge and faith to the test every day, whatever you do. So door dashing, I do work in general. I try to bring that ethos to every. I think what was it? The guy from Dirty Jobs, not Joe Rogan, the other guy. Bring your passion with you, right? Don't be passionate about a particular thing, but bring your passion with you wherever you go. So you may find like scrubbing toilets is your passion now, right? And you're able to feed your family. So kind of like this YouTube thing, I'm bringing my passion with me as I develop and grow this channel for you guys, and as we grow as a community. So I try to bring my passion of Christ in everything I do. So that's kind of where I'm at. So if I see other people flying other mundane flags or whatever, I can fly this stuff. So that's kind of where I'm at in life, and it just helps every day, one day at a time, to push forward like I did through cancer, one day at a time. Stop feeling sorry for myself and helping others. You kind of find purpose through suffering. You find purpose. I think that's kind of what Christ was. Through suffering, you find purpose, and his purpose was to bring people closer to him. So, and not be so atrocious, right? You can kind of step back and look at the whole picture. Like, a lot of stuff was, not good. So, but a lot of people learn through negative reinforcement. It's really interesting how people operate. So we got about 20 minutes left in the live stream. Except it's a 2-hour live stream. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps us grow the channel. Our goal is 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Merry Christmas, by the way. If you guys are getting ready to celebrate Christmas and the New Year's, I'm going to be celebrating the Christmas and New Year's by growing this channel and growing our family well-being and just bringing the pain when I'm on the battlefield for you guys. And for Christ, bringing the pain every day. So my goal is not to be the best fighter. My goal is to slay the fat. So I'm going to be beating up a lot on the field. You guys are going to see that. I'm going to lose a lot and lose a lot. Kind of like Babe Ruth, right? #1 strikeout champ. So, and that's what we're aiming for, is we want to be the biggest losers of weight. Secondarily, win. So winning happens, great. Comes along, cherish it, awesome, record it, share it with you guys. But it's not the goal of what I'm doing in this channel or being the best fighter possible. That usually comes in time. So we're gonna get there. Suit number 2. When I start suit number 2 and get that going, that's when we're going to be, that's going to signal to you guys, that's when we're going to be rocking and rolling, going to tournaments. We're going to be aiming to be the best fighter possible. And during that time, I'm going to aim for some sort of title or kingship, just to say that I did. So that'll be the ultimate goal when we get to suit number 2. Suit number 1, this is just get in shape, lose weight, get closer to Christ, and just get better every day, growing this channel and growing with you guys. So, and I'm still growing, still learning, still making content, maybe hit or miss, who knows. Like, I've had live streams where there are amazing, thousands of views, and then other live streams where there's no one. You still show up every day despite what happens. And I'll get you through any trials or tribulations in your life, I found. So, you also got to learn when to, a wise man will know when he is bested and bow out of whatever situation. So, sometimes you got to bow out of a situation, but try not to surrender. The best of your abilities, try not to surrender. You can most likely come out the other end of that, whatever it is. So, oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I hope the shorts are coherent enough. I'm trying to just get the message across what the channel is, and I'm trying to. You're always competing with the algorithm when you're doing shorts, so I have to think about what I'm pushing out there and why. So, but I'm just trying to stay in the tempo of 3 shorts a day, every day, and just keep at it, keep hammering them, right? So, and if I repeat myself, guys, go ahead and let me know, because sometimes, like, after chemotherapy, I get stuck in a mental loop cycle. So, if I ever repeat myself, that's why. So, I apologize in advance for any of that nonsense. So, and I'm aware of it too. That's a crazy thing. It's like watching on the inside of yourself, watching your little meat suit do something. You know, it's like, that's incorrect. What are you doing? But yeah, keep at it every day. Keep hammering at that. Keep hammering at it. Keep getting subscribers, right? Getting 1,000 subscribers. So, and that's just to say we did the goal, right? I'm not going to get anything out of it. I'm not getting any money out of YouTube right now currently. So, eventually, the goal is to monetize this channel and to justify the time that I spend with you guys and everything else to feed my family. Ultimately, as a business owner, because that's what I'm a self-employed business owner. And I do DoorDash, sell on eBay, all sorts of things. This has to eventually bring in revenue, so I'm just going to be upfront with all my viewers, and so they know that's not the primary focus, but it is a goal of the channel to eventually get that. And I'm sure everyone understands that. You gotta feed your family, you gotta pay bills. This stuff is not free, but I'm willing to invest the time, effort, and energy to make the best possible medieval Christian channel possible. So I want to thank you all who have been watching. Got about 17 minutes left from the live stream. Guys, any questions? Go ahead and shoot them right here. And thank you, Jay Rat. Sorry if that was a long-winded response. So, want some more water. I am out of water, guys. Yeah, so with shorts, what I like about them, everyone's busy, I know that. It doesn't take them too much of your time. It gets the point across of the channel, and I can link it back to live streams to boost metrics of the channel itself. And if you guys have the time available, obviously you guys can watch long formats, because we're all working individuals, right? You know, we all work, take care of our family or take care of ourselves. So I understand that, everyone understands that. So the shorts take me literally 15 seconds per short. And I'm a very fast thinker, right? I think very fast, and right. So I might have ADHD. Someone said, it's like, maybe, I don't know, possibly. But I'll get inspiration and I'll do something. Or I'll do a series that I'm passionate about, like I'm passionate about coinage. I'm sure you guys can see that, and that's in the channel. That's leading up to something. So I actually have an end goal in mind for that series. And I do that every day, kind of, and I try to show my friends and family, especially my brother, like, look, man, over a course of a period of time, if given enough discipline and dedication, you can literally move mountains. You can literally move any mountain you want in your life, financial or otherwise. And I'm still working on it every day myself. So I went from a nice paying 6-figure job to being self-employed. That's the scariest thing in the world to go through. So, and I imagine there's a lot of people out there like that. So I can do one of two things: feel sorry for myself, be a hobo, or do something about it. I've always decided to do something about it. This time, a little bit faster. First time around, I felt sorry for myself for about 2 years, and then I got off my butt. But yeah, I love shorts because you can remix your own videos that point back to your long format. So if you're in the making your own channel, this is just something you can do. You can literally just make one long formatted video, and if you structure it right, you can make remixes, and then you can kind of get your point across. It's kind of like casting bait or fish, like you're kind of like fishing for your audience, right? That's what kind of analogy that some people use. They use it on other stuff as well. I watched a demonstration of how they get millions of views and subscribers. They have a hook. I tell a story, and ultimately, I was like, very interesting. I've always hated that the game industry and the like medias like this, they think of people as fish. Like, well, aren't they your paying audience? Aren't they thinking individuals? But I guess you can use some of that mindset a little bit to kind of draw in your audience. I'm in Alabama as well, northern Alabama. Shire of Glen Reed, if you want to look us up. So you should see this symbol, it's a bird. So Auburn, oh, nice. There is a group, I do not remember where, but there is SCA groups out where you're at. So if you ever feel like making a puff up over to Decatur area or Huntsville area, definitely. The SCA spans a lot of the United States, continental United States, Australia, Japan, and Europe. I'll have to look up whoever's in your area, but there is an SCA group somewhere out there in the like Birmingham, Auburn area. I'll have to ask around. But look up Shire of Glen Reed. There's actually a link in the video description usually, either it's here or one of the other channels. I'll point to that. You can actually talk to them, and they'll probably point you in the right direction. We can meet up with this stuff. So working out, super important. If you're already in shape, fantastic. Then you just go out in the field and have fun. And if you enjoy camping, they have events, war events. You can go camping. That's the best thing ever. I'm working on a medieval tent myself. I have a mundane tent, a modern day tent. They call them mundane. It's good, but it's not medieval. So I'm working on the medieval tent, getting the poles together. So that's the next video series. I need to start recording workouts again, but you know how Alabama is, right? How it gets dark at like 4 or whatever. So I gotta find a nice time frame when I can work out. Also the bipolar raining weather. So it's hard to set a schedule around that. So, but today has been kind of a nice day to work out. But Mondays I always slice for talking about God, talking about the channel, where the channel's going, and just going from there. So, but yeah, I'll see you if there's any Auburn groups nearby. I don't know them. I think Irondale or something like that. It's something to do with iron. Yes, it was hot all the way up until December. It was hot up here, and then it got cold, and now it's starting to get a little bit warm again. Well, because I participate in the Medieval SCA Society of Creative Anachronism, I actually fight and train in this. So that's why I kind of dressed up as a medieval crusader, if that answers the question. We hit each other with, here, I'll show you what we hit each other with. So these are rattan weapons. They're basically baseball bats. And we spar, like if you've ever seen fencing, we spar with this. So we're actually hitting each other full force a lot of the time. And here's the helmet that goes with it. So I'll kind of show you what that looks like. You guys probably haven't heard the ding yet. So here, let me get the helmet all strapped together, and then I'll just smack myself in the head so you guys can hear the wonderful ding of you dead. So I primarily fight with polearm, so I have gauntlets. These are 16 gauge steel gauntlets. And this is 16 gauge steel sides, 1/4 inch steel front, 18 gauge top, or not 18 gauge, 14 gauge top. So a lot of time you're gonna be hearing that stuff. Ugh! I don't have myself any harder to give myself a concussion, but it is a pretty awesome and brutal sport. So hopefully to answer your question, while I'm dressed as a medieval crusader, this channel is dedicated around the training and construction and of doing medieval things. So, how much damage does it eat up? Well, they don't use a damage system per se. It's more of like they hit you hard enough to where you feel it and you acknowledge the blow. It's not like D&D. It's more like I said, fencing. So if this gets through enough where I can feel it, I call it good, because I don't want to get hit any harder. Because they'll hit you harder and harder until you acknowledge the blow. So it is a ton of fun, especially fighting in large formations. So like this right here. So this is a rubberized axe head, vulcanized rubber. How much does it hurt? If you ever played football and getting tackled, similar to that, that's the best way to describe it, because it all depends. So it all depends. If you're wearing armor like mine, it's more like football. If you're wearing minimums, it's going to hurt a lot. So it depends on where your pain tolerance. If you have a low pain tolerance, you want more armor. If you have a high pain tolerance, go in there basically naked. They have them as, they call them min-maxers or something like that. They wear bare minimums: elbows, gorget, knees, and like protects your back of the neck lobe here. Obviously helmet, and that's all you kind of need. Oh, forearms. You need forearms, and then some sort of hand protection. So depending on what kind of weapon you're using, and then shield. So those are the minimums. So I'll kind of show you. So this polearm, my hand is fully encased. So if I were to get hit square on by a weapon, nothing's going to get through that. And I'll be changing my stances a lot, shifting a lot. Right? You're threatening with the thrust. And then since I can start with the thrust, you can come up overhead and come down like that. So this is actually a very, you see a lot of my battles will be opening up like this. I don't want to go too high, I don't want to hit the fan again. But I'll be opening up like this. And it depends on the line of attack as well. So if they're a right-handed individual, you want your weapon covering your body like this, because the attack's going to come from this angle. Left-handed, or if they switch position, cover it from this. Protects you from that angle. Hopefully, to answer your question, how much it hurts, or if I answer that question. I'll show you the inside of the helmet as well, so you kind of understand the padding. It's very akin to football. It's what is it? Impact foam is what they use. It's a sport foam. So if you look in there, it's actually padded with this black foam. I think I can take some of it out. Yeah, I can take it out. And it's a closed cell foam. You always want padding, so it's a closed cell foam system. This is impact foam. That just kind of sits on my head like this. It looks no different, right? Like, there's my hairdo. But it kind of sits there in the helmet like that, and that helmet compresses that in. So when I get hit, all that kinetic energy is absorbed by the padding. You don't want any metal touching your skin or your face, because you don't want the energy to transfer into your skeletal frame. So you just gotta be mindful of like how kinetic energy works. You'll be fine. You definitely don't want this, just raw metal helmet. You want to make sure you have closed cell foam padding anytime you do this type of sport. Basically, we look at football, and that's kind of what you want. But you can get concussions. You just got to be very mindful of what blows you're willing to accept. Like if that was hard enough to ring your bell, probably should accept it so you don't get hit again. Yeah, thank you. Still working on the armor kit, working on the placard here. So when that's all added, you should see the full setup in all its glory, and I'll have that area down below my belly line. I'm going to kind of show you. So this is the cuirass, the upper chest plate. So this is the upper portion of the chest. The placard that I have added, or going to add, this is still a work in progress. Basically goes on here like this and protects the lower portion of my tummy. So we'll be adding that to the suit, shaping and getting that going. Make myself not look as, does it add 50 pounds? I think it does. But anyways, the placard, I don't know the weight, I think it's going to add about 10 pounds roughly of steel to the suit. The suit's already at 55 pounds last I checked. So it's 55 pounds of kit. And it's a closed off system, so you're not able to sweat. So you got to make sure you're hydrated well in this stuff. So I'll give you an idea. So I did a live stream video of just cutting the steel. The steel cutting for just the front plates took about an hour. So 2 hours just in cutting steel. As far as the rest of the suit, like this took me a little over a week to cut, shape, and get refined. And it obviously could be done better. So you're looking about 120 hours to get a breastplate up and running the way you need it. Full suit, if you're doing it like the traditional way, it's going to take you months, 6 months plus. Some people, but if you're going for what I was doing, which is cutting corners, getting it out there as fast as possible, because you're doing a combat sport, you're looking at 2 weeks of dedicated time and effort. If you're doing full plate, if you're doing like just the helm and the minimums, 2 or 3 days worth of work. Dedicated work, it's about 40 hours. Hopefully to answer your question. A lot of the time what you're going to be waiting on is just getting the resources available. Like this right here, this took 3 months to basically craft, though it could have taken me like a little over 2 hours if I pushed it. I'll be ending the live stream soon. Doing the stare of death from the missus. Stare of death. Back, you heathen. Yeah, and also, I mean, as far as time is concerned, it all depends on the individual as well. So, what may take one person 1 hour may take you or I 10 plus hours. So, if you're a master, a few hours to craft certain things. You stop here, Pokey. We got about 2 minutes left in the live stream. We'll be ending it there. So, it's a 2-hour live stream, dear. I told you it would be. But yeah, this is for our combat sport. If you can check out the rest of the channel and subscribe, you can kind of see generally what we're doing. We're fighting in usually one-on-ones at practices, and then in giant formations during the events. So it's a lot of fun. We're not recreators of battles. We're kind of like simulating battles, more or less. This is a weapon simulator. Thank you. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. It's one more towards the goal, so I appreciate it. If you have any more questions, let me know. I'm going to be ending live stream in about 30 seconds. So, hope you guys enjoyed the live stream as much as I did. So, still good to know my user base, or viewer base, whatever they call it. I forget what the word is. But I want to appreciate y'all. I just want to say how much I appreciate y'all, and have a good day, and God bless.